Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. It's understandable that certainly nobody wants to know that they've kissed their child goodbye off to school and never going to see them again. No one would ever want our children to be in an environment that would put them in harm's way. But unfortunately, this is the world we live in. There really are no rules for insanity. And so, we have laws. We have gun-free zone laws. We have trigger laws, and we have mental incompetency laws. We have things that we put into place trying to make sure that that children aren't shot and killed under ignorance and crazed rebellions or whatever the case may be. Certainly we can't stop children from being children as well, who bully and pick on kids. We've certainly done our best to change our words and our acceptance, our tolerance for the diversity of community. But it still doesn't change people from being people who are hurtful, selfish, ignorant, fearful, doubtful, jealous, all the different things that we have to educate the coming generations upon. And maybe we have, or maybe we just haven't done a thorough enough job. But certainly I'm not sure that new laws and more laws are going to be the answer to resolve our conflict that we have with our concerns about guns and the availability of them. So the last thing I would ever want to do is be on the side of slowly moving a power struggle in of government, or people that are concerned about power struggles or fearful of a rebellion or fearful of a tyrannical government. But those things are possible, and they have happened in our past, and the percentages are far the other way than they are towards that of protecting our constitutional rights as Americans. A lot of people have brought up the Second Amendment lately, and they're concerned about it being violated. I'm going to tell you that I think that more than the Second Amendment being violated, it's the 14th Amendment that's being violated, our due process laws. And so anytime that a government can say that someone's guilty of a crime before they've ever committed one, is a pretty awkward situation. I remember the movie Minority Report. And so the last thing we want to do is to get so fearful of potentials that we accuse people before they're actually guilty of anything. And I know it's hard. It's an awkward situation. So, but certainly to allow a government to come in and confiscate our personal property based on a potential is that's a violation of the 14th Amendment. It's a violation of due process. And to allow our congressional representation even bring it up is a violation of their oath of office. That they swore to uphold the Constitution and to do so without mental reserve. So these are my concerns, and I think that we have to sit down and talk and make resolve. I don't have all the answers, but I do know the answer is not attacking our Constitution or someone's right to have a gun. But again, we do have laws in place in regards to mental competency, and it really is probably more of a family issue than it is a government issue. To say, hey, Dad, it's time to turn over the keys to the gun cabinet. Or, hey, we're going to put this somewhere else. I'm going to hold on to this, whatever the case may be. And I'm just giving one example of many possibilities. But at the same time, the last thing I would ever want to be part of is walking into someone's home or trying to get into someone's home. And let's just say he's a veteran of 5 years or 10 years and served our country and faced and put himself in harm's way and shed his own blood and saw his friends and brothers and family members and being shot up, being sent there by our government because it was the soldier's code of ethics and commitment. And then to say, he had a bad day, so someone says, go see the doctor, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, you've seen a lot of ugly in your life. You've seen a lot of things, and you're having trouble sleeping, maybe a little anxiety. I'm going to give you some medicine to help you calm through that. Well, now the doctor's intent was to, again, maybe try to give him a little sleep, a little bit of peace of mind, a little bit of freedom from the struggles of what we've seen and experienced. And then now, because he's taken this medication, or even if he didn't take the medication, the doctor prescribed the medication, he's now on a list that says he may have PTSD, or he's mentally imbalanced, or and what would be the thing that puts him over the edge? Well, the thing that would probably put me over the edge is having a government agency knock on my front door and say, okay, it's been reported you're taking anxiety medication or depression medication and you own a gun. So we'd like you to turn it over. I'd probably shut the door and say, today's a great day to die. I don't know. Maybe I got the problem. Maybe so. But I think I'm pretty reasonable. And I think that we have to resolve things to what's ethical. And so I think, first of all, it ought to be something should be on a voluntary basis. It should be us and a family, and we should have an understanding. So there's a lot more things that have caused people's death than this. Again, it is ugly. It's an ugly process. It's a great concern. The elevation of repetitiveness of these problems. But again, so they took away guns in England, and now they got to take away steak knives. I mean, where does it end? Forks, spoons, so we're all imprisoned, or someone's trying to put somebody in prison. And I guess, who knows? Imagine if you sharpen a crayon enough, you probably could do some damage with it, or a pencil, or a pen. Anything can be a weapon. So many things are really part of our mind. And so I think that if we have the long march to raise a generation that would understand ethical truth, ethical resolve, respect of life, anger, rage, our temperaments, and I don't think it has to be done on a spiritual platform as much as it is an ethical platform. So maybe we could teach a set of ethics. And again, that in itself has become a fear because we were taught situation ethics, justifying wrong for the moment. So really, maybe it's about temporal living or circumstantial living. Wow, it sounds to me like we're back into talking about the joys of living, peace of living, the internal things that happen to us. So, and it's so awkward because people are so frightened. But I know that if we could teach the next generation not to kill, everybody would applause. If we could teach the next generation not to steal, everyone would applause. If we could teach the next generation not to lie, everyone would applause. But if we said we're going to teach the Ten Commandments, oh my goodness, that's a fearful thing. It's not for today's society. Oh, we can go on and on with the wraparound of causing blame or pointing fingers or saying you can't do this or you can't do that. Someday we're going to have to realize that we're all human beings and we're all flawed, but we all can be better than what we are. And that's what we need to work on. So I don't think laws will change, new laws. I don't think removing our guns will change it. But I do believe that, I guess if anything, even for police officers to hear all the conflicts and problems and say that they can't confiscate someone's gun because they understand the Constitution. So again, it is a mental framework. It is a mind work. It's a mind job. It's an issue that deals with the psyche, I think, more than the product that's in someone's hands or in someone's intent. So we have to work on that, and hopefully together we can find those resolves before we jump to the gun, confiscate guns, limit people's access to their own self-protection, as well as in their home, in their life, on the streets. Again, I said this so many times I could run my entire campaign on loving your neighbor as yourself, and the love of money is the root of all evil. But it seems to be that the world's not quite ready for those two issues yet. So hopefully we can get around together. God bless. Have a great day.